Tragically, Erich Anderson, a well-liked and talented actor, well known for his iconic roles in movies and television, died at 67. Throughout his career, Anderson starred in classic television series like Felicity and The Golden Girls. He established himself in the horror genre with his performance in Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. He captivates audiences and gains respect in Hollywood by portraying various characters, from endearing love partners to nuanced villains. Today, we honor the man who created these enduring characters by commemorating his life work and contributions to the entertainment business. The notable filmography of Erich Anderson in various genres. With performances spanning a wide range of genres, from serious dramas and spine-tingling thrillers to lighthearted comedies and suspenseful horror pictures, Erich Anderson's extensive resume demonstrates his extraordinary flexibility. Because of his versatility, he soon became a favorite, and directors sought a character actor who would fit in with various plots and moods. Whether portraying a wounded adversary or a lovely romantic lead, Anderson's versatility demonstrated that he was not limited to a particular kind of character. His methodical preparation was the foundation of his acting style, providing genuine performances that made his characters incredibly relatable. In comedies, he offered memorable moments of humor while ever compromising emotional depth. And in horror movies, he could arouse terror and empathy in equal measure. Anderson's profound comprehension of character relationships and the storylines of each film made him a captivating and dependable character in Hollywood, winning the respect of peers, filmmakers, and fans alike, and solidifying his status as a reputable and trustworthy artist. His influence on popular horror movies. Erich Anderson's parts in classic horror movies, especially his outstanding performance in Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, helped him reach cult status. Anderson's portrayal of his character brought a degree of tenderness and human complexity, frequently lacking in the generally violent and fast-paced world of slasher films, in contrast to many actors who adhere to the typical genre cliches. Fans could empathize with individuals who, in many respects, may have been viewed as disposable victims in other movies because of the unique authenticity he brought to the horror genre. Anderson stood out due to his subtle approach to acting in the genre, which brought an unexpected level of realism despite the suspense and blood. His performance was more powerful and memorable because he depicted genuine human emotions in addition to survival and death. Because he struck a delicate balance between authenticity and suspense, Anderson developed a devoted following, particularly among horror fans who valued his efforts to defy convention and distinguish his characters in a notorious genre for its frequently superficial depictions. Making the switch to television. Erich Anderson's career took exciting new turns in the 1980s and 1990s because of his seamless move into television. Because of his adaptability, Anderson was an excellent fit for TV as the medium developed, incorporating more affluent character development and intricate episodic plots. His breadth was demonstrated in well-known television series like Law & Order and Emergency Room, where he skillfully lent depth and authenticity to his parts. Networks searching for actors capable of handling long-term character arcs found Anderson's ability to fully commit to recurring roles, whether playing a troubled doctor or a hard-nosed investigator. His career reached new heights thanks to his television work, which exposed him to an even wider audience than his movie fan base. To further demonstrate his versatility, it allowed him to play more complex parts, such as ethically dubious or intensely emotional characters. In addition to broadening his acting career, Anderson's TV performances cemented his reputation as a reputable and versatile actor by leaving lasting impressions on some of the most cherished series. Professor McGrath's role in Felicity. Erich Anderson's depiction of Professor McGrath on the popular television series Felicity stands out as one of his most renowned and unforgettable roles. Anderson's portrayal achieved a careful mix of authority and depth as a rigid and somewhat mysterious character in the show's academic context. Initially shown as aloof and demanding, his persona eventually showed facets of empathy and compassion, elevating him above the usual severe professor. Anderson's role was an essential component of the show's dynamic because of his ability to reflect both the emotional toll of mentoring young brains and the difficulties of academia. His performance received a lot of attention for adding depth to the story's academic setting and giving audiences an understanding of the intricacies of higher education and student-teacher interactions. Felicity viewers still have positive memories of Professor McGrath because his advice and stern love influenced the character's paths and made Anderson one of the series' most notable actors. His performance is still a turning point in his television career, showcasing his ability to play complex, compelling characters. Portraying legal characters. Erich Anderson was frequently cast in roles involving the legal profession throughout his career. His careful commitment to character development gave each role intellect, honesty, and gravity. Anderson's performance was consistently complex and multi-layered, whether he was portraying a judge overseeing a contentious trial or an attorney handling a well-known case. He gave these personas a feeling of realism and ensured they were all well-grounded in the ethical nuances of the legal system. Anderson's portrayals were frequently a study in balance because he could realistically and relatably convey the internal conflict and moral quandaries that lawyers encounter. He was able to depict these jobs with believability by studying the lives of actual judges and attorneys, highlighting the obligations and pressures associated with them. By bringing to light the difficulties that persons who work in the legal field confront on a personal and professional level, these performances help people gain a better knowledge of the field. In addition to connecting with viewers, Anderson's commitment to realism in these parts ensured that his legal characters would always be remembered for their nuance and emotional impact. Working together with iconic directors. Erich Anderson had the honor of collaborating with numerous well-known filmmakers during his career, all of whom acknowledged his capacity to elevate any production with his deft, versatile performances. Directors frequently hailed Anderson as a director's actor who respected the movie's or television program's overall artistic vision while contributing a distinct viewpoint to each role. Anderson was a favorite on set because of his collaborative acting style and willingness to have deep conversations about his character's motivations. He was able to seamlessly and powerfully portray each character by incorporating criticism and modifying his performances to properly match the director's aims. Anderson's skill and adaptability enabled him to contribute substantially to every project, regardless of whether he collaborated with seasoned professionals in the field or emerging artists. In addition to honing his technique, these partnerships enabled him to give viewers unforgettable performances, making him a dependable and well-respected actor in Hollywood. Acknowledged for his depth of emotion. Erich Anderson was renowned for having a deep emotional range, especially when playing parts that called for extreme vulnerability. Anderson's portrayals struck a profound chord with viewers, whether of a character dealing with difficult moral decisions or a man grieving. His capacity to express unfiltered emotions, such as joy, grief, or rage, enabled him to give his characters a sense of realism and relatability. His subtle technique made sure that his characters were actual individuals with deep personalities that viewers could relate to, rather than just performances on film. Viewers appreciated Anderson's ability to move fluidly between intense emotional upheaval and tenderness, which gave each scene a powerful sense. His genuineness and depth of feeling became a distinctive characteristic of his work, guaranteeing that he made an impression on both fans and reviewers. Anderson became a well-liked personality in Hollywood because of his ability to authentically depict the entire range of human emotions, cementing his reputation as an actor who could accurately depict the complexity of life in his work. Commitment to character analysis. One of the main pillars of Erich Anderson's acting career was his attention to learning each role's subtleties. This helped him stand out for many of his peers. Anderson went above and beyond to fully immerse himself in the complexities of each profession, whether he was playing a doctor, professor, or lawyer. He frequently spoke with actual experts for his research, saw how they behaved, and examined the nuances of their daily routines. Anderson made sure that every part he played seemed natural and grounded by devoting time and effort to getting to know his characters completely. The constancy and plausibility of his performances demonstrated his intense dedication to depicting characters in a realistic manner, which made them seem genuine and relatable. He gained a reputation as an actor who took his trade seriously and elevated his work above the standard representations of professionals thanks to his dedication to authenticity. This helped him connect with audiences who valued the realism he gave to each character. Remarkable visits by guests in sitcoms. Erich Anderson demonstrated his versatility throughout his career by appearing as a guest on several sitcoms, bringing his unique charm and nuanced comedy to the small screen. He added an unexpected dimension to these playful acts with his sharp wit, flawless timing, and ability to play the straight man to the craziness of the humor. Anderson's performances were notable for his ability to infuse his humorous roles with intelligence and nuance, and his guest appearances frequently served as a welcome diversion from the main character's antics. His smooth move into the sitcom industry showed how versatile he was as an actor and how he could easily switch between genres while retaining the genuineness for which he was renowned. Because of his distinct approach to comedy, Anderson became a highly sought-after guest star. He gained more recognition across television genres, enabling viewers to enjoy his comedic and dramatic contributions. His work ethic has earned him respect. Erich Anderson enjoyed widespread recognition in the business because of his unwavering dedication to his profession and work ethic. He was well known for being punctual, organized, and cooperative on set, making his co-workers and crew members respect his professionalism. Anderson had an intensely committed approach to acting, ensuring he fully understood his role before appearing on screen. He became known as a professional in the field because of his dedication to every assignment, no matter how big or complicated. He was always prepared to perform well and fully engaged with the material, so he didn't just show up for work. He was a valuable asset to directors and producers because of his devotion and focus, which served as an example for aspiring performers. His peers frequently characterized him as a dependable individual who could be relied upon to improve any production, regardless of genre. Anderson's methodical approach was a significant factor in the long-term success of television and movies. Theater-related contributions. With more than 50 theatrical performances to his credit, Erich Anderson's love of theater was a fundamental part of his creative path. He considered theater the cornerstone of his acting career because he felt no medium could match live performances' unadulterated, unrefined energy. Anderson's theatrical roles were marked by emotional intensity and physical devotion, whether in personal dramas or larger-than-life productions. His commitment to the theater helped him develop abilities that he carried into his work in television and movies, where he frequently added a greater sense of sincerity and immediacy. Anderson saw the stage as a place where he could push boundaries and test the limitations of his talent, not just a place to act. His theatrical productions continue to be praised for their nuance and accuracy, reminding viewers of the transformational potential of live drama. Anderson's theater work highlighted his range as an actor and showed that his skills extended beyond the film. Approach to character psychology. Erich Anderson's in-depth examination of character psychology was one of his distinguishing characteristics in acting. He realized that an actor must first comprehend the psychological and emotional foundations that underlie their acts to fully inhabit a character. Anderson frequently tackled parts by exploring his character's emotional and mental realms, posing queries such as what drives them, what do they most deeply want and fear. Because of his interest in the interior lives of his characters, Anderson gave them multiple levels of complexity and depth. Anderson made sure that his portrayals of the characters accurately represented their true personalities rather than only superficial portrayals by creating psychological profiles of them. His parts had a distinct depth due to his meticulous attention to character psychology, which captivated viewers beyond the plot. One of Anderson's defining characteristics and a significant factor in his enduring reputation as an actor was his capacity to depict individuals with such emotional and psychological nuance. Flexibility in both major and minor roles. Erich Anderson's career proved his adaptability as he consistently excelled in parts of all sizes. Anderson's commitment and emotional depth were consistent whether he was portraying a leading or supporting role. His performances were driven by his conviction that every character matters, guaranteeing that no role, regardless of screen time, was ever undervalued. Anderson's ability to elevate even the tiniest parts and leave an unforgettable impression on the audience made him a highly sought-after actor in Hollywood. Regardless of how vital a role is in the plot, his method encouraged many other performers to treat every character with the same attention. Anderson's reputation as one of Hollywood's most dependable and esteemed actors was cemented by his versatility and dedication. The influence of Erich Anderson on independent film. Erich Anderson significantly influenced the indie film industry in addition to his well-known parts. He played unusual, ethnically nuanced roles in low-budget movies that challenged standard narrative conventions. Anderson was able to collaborate with innovative filmmakers and influence the direction of independent cinema by accepting these independent projects. He showed his commitment to filmmaking by accepting roles outside of the mainstream rather than concentrating only on making money. Anderson's contributions to independent filmmaking made a significant figure in the field, establishing new narrative conventions and demonstrating his faith in the potential of cinema as a vehicle for artistic expression. His legacy is still largely shaped by his contributions to independent film, showing his versatility and dedication to the medium. Anderson's memorable role in Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. One of Erich Anderson's most enduring roles comes from Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. In his portrayal of Rob Dyer, a resentful brother seeking retribution for the death of his sister, Anderson unexpectedly added emotional nuance to the slasher genre. Anderson's portrayal of Rob stood out for its honesty and empathy, even though horror movies frequently put more emphasis on thrills and scares than character development. He developed a grounded and empathetic figure, giving a more profound emotional depth to a gore and violence-heavy franchise. Rob is regarded as one of the most engaging human characters in the horror genre, and fans of the Friday the 13th series still praise Anderson's portrayal. In addition to enhancing the film's emotional impact, his performance cemented his legacy in the annals of horror cinema. Contributions to sci-fi television with Star Trek: The Next Generation. Erich Anderson made his first appearance in science fiction in the late 1980s when he appeared as a guest on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Anderson could examine the difficulties and subtleties of a futuristic story by playing Commander Riker's old acquaintance. In a genre frequently characterized by technology and extraterrestrial concepts, his performance stood out for adding a personal touch. Anderson's realistic portrayal was welcomed by the fervently devoted Star Trek fan audience, which acknowledged his ability to bring realism to the high-stakes fantasy plot. Anderson's acting versatility was further showcased by his part on Star Trek, which showed that he could easily switch between genres and give portrayals that struck a deep chord with a broad spectrum of viewers. His return to TV in the crime drama genre. Erich Anderson achieved fresh success in crime drama TV shows like CSI and NCIS later in his career. His depictions of nuanced characters, many on opposing sides of the law, fit well with the genre's preference for emotional nuance and intrigue. In a genre renowned for its keen concentration on plot twists and criminal investigations, Anderson stood out for his ability to offer a nuanced, multifaceted approach to his parts. While his performances continued to show his range and profound comprehension of human psychology, his return to television in these series helped introduce him to a new generation of audiences. Anderson's performance in crime dramas solidified his reputation as one of Hollywood's most versatile actors, able to succeed in any genre. Training and guidance for future actors. Erich Anderson was devoted to coaching aspiring actors to give back to the acting community. He spent a part of his life teaching, giving seminars and workshops on the craft of acting, character development, and emotional honesty. His compassion, understanding, and in-depth industry expertise were hallmarks of his teaching style. Anderson was commended by several of his students for his ability to simplify and make understandable complex acting skills. Anderson enjoyed seeing his mentees succeed and frequently continued mentoring them as they started their careers. In addition to impacting the upcoming generation of performers, Anderson's mentoring ensured his legacy would endure in the numerous, prosperous careers he helped create. His prominent part in legal dramas. Erich Anderson stood out in legal dramas due to his innate seriousness and command of a scene. Because of his versatility, he was able to represent police enforcement authorities, judges, and other authority figures with surprising credibility. Anderson added a distinct complexity to each job, whether he was portraying a wise, sympathetic judge or a tough-as-nails prosecutor. Directors appreciated his intelligent, straightforward style because it enabled his characters to deliver powerful lines with the level of passion required by the genre. Each story's stakes were raised by his commanding presence, which made courtroom plays more tense and the legal proceedings more realistic. Anderson established himself as a dependable mainstay in the genre, known for giving characters frequently distinguished by their authority, depth, and emotional complexity. In addition to showcasing his versatility, his work in legal dramas profoundly affected viewers who valued his ability to humanize even the most procedural scenes. His parts would be remembered long after the last credits had rolled because of the depth they brought to the genre. Voice acting and animated roles. Erich Anderson found that voice acting allowed him to explore a new aspect of his talent in the latter years of his career. His deep, resonant voice became a vital asset for animated programs, video games, and other ventures where his vocal range could give characters great depth. Anderson, well known for his on-screen personas, discovered that his voice could go beyond physical attributes to give animated figures a depth of feeling that gave them a realistic feel. From fantasy to sci-fi to adventure, his voice work covered various genres, each contributing a distinct aspect to his already varied career. Fans of his animated parts realized and valued the depth he added to each character, leaving him in their memories long after the credits had rolled. By demonstrating his versatility as an artist, Anderson's smooth move into voice acting showed that his enormous skill was not limited to conventional live-action roles, but could enthrall and interest audiences in any format. His legacy had grown even more due to the continuing recognition of his contributions in this area. The last projects and legacy of Erich Anderson. Erich Anderson consciously decided to work on projects aligned with his creative integrity and personal values in the latter years of his career. He was picky, hoping to make a lasting impression with parts that showcased the depth and knowledge he'd acquired over many years in the business. These last performances demonstrated a strong dedication to his art and served as a monument to his development as a man and an actor. With every production, Anderson was able to create characters that were multi-layered, nuanced, and representative of the experiences he had gained over his remarkable career. Because they demonstrated his capacity to continue pushing creative boundaries, and his career concluded, fans and reviewers agreed that these final roles were a suitable capstone. Through these performances, Anderson's legacy lives on, treasured by those who appreciate his work and unwavering commitment. In addition to bringing his career to a close, his last endeavors ensured that his impact would last for many generations by constantly reminding audiences of the importance of honesty, passion, and artistry in all that they do. An esteemed member of the character-actor community in Hollywood. Despite not being well-known, Erich Anderson was highly respected in the Hollywood character acting world. Anderson, famous for his professionalism and tenacity, personified the ideal of the traditional character actor, someone who prioritized the job and the plot over personal recognition. Due to his unwavering commitment to his parts and the integrity he gave to each performance, he became a beloved figure among his colleagues. Many performers aspired to be in the spotlight, but Anderson was happy to labor in the background, adding depth to movies with his subtle performances. Because of his commitment, he gained the respect of directors, performers, and fans who recognized a character actor's critical role in enhancing a narrative. Anderson's career demonstrates the influence that talented, dedicated character actors can have on the business, and his legacy motivates upcoming actors hoping to emulate him. In Hollywood, his work continues to stand as a testament to professionalism and creative brilliance. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon